Hi, I'm Robert.
And I'm Elissa.
And this is Fighting Over the Remote. Each week we enter the ring to defend the honor of our favorite movies.
Will one of us reign supreme, or will we find common ground in the movies that we love? Well, this week, I had the remote.
And I was forced to watch Twilight.
Yeah!
A seminal movie of your youth.
Of
little girls everywhere.
Yeah, truly. Little girls were adults now.
Well, I mean, it became a seminal movie when you were a little girl, yes?
That's true. That's correct.
Yes?
Yes. Robert, I feel like we should just jump into the summary because we need to jog people's memory about this movie. It's been a while for some of us.
Yeah, this movie released in what, 2000?
We need a timer.
No. I was asking what the movie released in like 2009?
2008.
2008.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been about 16 years. So if you need a little refresher, we'll do a little 60-second summary. Oh, just started right away.
All right, here we go. He's going to cover the whole plot of Twilight in 1 minute. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, the pastiest white girl you've ever seen lives in Phoenix, Arizona, which makes sense. And then her mom ditches her ass to go drive around with her minor league boyfriend and leaves her to go move to Forks, Washington, with her estranged father, who is a sheriff for this strange and mystical town. There's a bunch of people dying left and right from evil vampires. And then Bella, she's at school. She sees this really pasty guy. And she says, wow, what a hottie.
15 seconds.
They have some drama because she makes him physically ill. And then he ends up saving her life. And she gets suspicious because he has superhuman strength. She finds out that he's a vampire. They fall in love. They play baseball. Bad vampires try to kill her. And then the good vampire saves her.
That was pretty good. That was not bad. Yeah.
I thought I could do more in 30 seconds. I felt good when you said 30 seconds
and then
left.
You were like,
and then
fuck.
I was like, oh wait, a bunch of shit happens in this movie.
Yeah.
It really fucking churns through the scenes.
Only thing I'll mention is you did not mention Jacob. Jacob is
yeah.
I mean, to be honest though, I completely forgot that he's only in the first movie for 5 minutes in total. He has 4 appearances maybe.
He was in it more than I expected, to be honest.
I honestly thought that you find out he's a werewolf in the first one. I do not remember not finding that out till the second one, but...
Yeah. I mean, obviously I know that he's a werewolf.
Yeah,
just because,
you just know.
I think if you haven't seen Twilight, you still know everything about it.
Yeah.
And...
quite a bit.
Knowing that going in, it's okay, well, that's super obvious.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
either he's the sketchiest person alive or he's a werewolf.
I mean, Edward literally makes a comment when they're at prom and he goes, I leave you alone for 2 minutes and the wolves descend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that goes over her head. She has no idea.
Yeah, meanwhile, Edward can't do fucking shit without her being like, you're a vampire. I fucking know it. I know you're a vampire.
Say it. You're cold. You sparkle in the sun. That's not what she says, but yeah. So
how old were you when you first saw this?
2008.
So you've been 10?
Yeah, I was middle school. I think I was 10 or 11.
Did you see it in theaters?
I did.
Did you read it before or after?
I tried to read it. I did not finish the first book.
Oh, okay.
Guys, don't come for me, okay? I'm not a huge, big book reader. I get bored as fuck.
Aren't the books kind of bad, too? Don't people think
apparently
the books aren't
so.
good?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I really do not remember. I remember just being okay, get to the point. I think that was the vibe I got from the book when I tried to read the first one. Excuse me. Yeah, I think it's that classic build up. It feels so similar to Pride and Prejudice in the way it's oh my God, they hate each other and like they can't be around each other, and then they're like making out and you're like, word. But there's like probably like a ridiculous amount of time between that first point and the second point.
See, like Pride and Prejudice, I believe that like Keira Knightley like hated Matthew McFadden, but in this, like Kristen Stewart, every time she looks at Robert Pattinson, is like coming.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't hate him at all, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like that classic, like, long game. We're playing the long game.
I mean, for Edward, he's been waiting 100 years to find a little 17-year-old.
That's right. He's 17 at heart.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Could you argue that that's a little...
Oh, I have that for later.
You have that for later. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think this movie is important. First of all, just its cultural significance. I think Kristen Stewart gets too much shit for this movie, personally. I do not think, rewatching it, I was like, her choices are not as bad as I had previously thought they were. Mm-hmm. Like, I think watching it when you're younger, like, I think you're so obsessed with, as a woman who at that time thought I was straight, but I was not. I don't know that I knew that. But anyway, I thought I was straight at the time.
Let's rehash this right now.
Let's rehash this. I was so obsessed with like just seeing more of Edward and more of Jacob, because I knew that like that was the exciting part. That like anytime Bella was on the screen, I was like, oh, come on, like get to the point. But now like rewatching it, I think I appreciate having her as like the leader of the film, and like you're getting her perspective on everything, which is really fun and interesting. And I think Kristen Stewart did exactly what this movie needed, personally, because you had to have someone that was just like over the top and just like, kind of avoidant, but also like you can see how quickly she gets attached to Edward. But yeah, like I think some of that's the cultural significance, is like making fun of both of the actors. Well, a lot of the actors in this.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. Such a melodrama.
Yeah. I think the Twilight series, is that a quadrilogy?
I honestly don't. They had a new one recently or something.
Oh, didn't they? I know they had 4 or 5 movies, but I think the series is one of the more, like, it's probably up there with Harry Potter for influence.
Yeah, so there are 5 movies, but they split Breaking Dawn in 2. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just, I think if you haven't seen Twilight, you have to watch it at least once in your life, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't regret watching it at all.
Yeah, I think it is entertaining. I think, at times it is really funny because the script is like so cheesy at points.
Yeah.
And I do have to give Stephenie Meyer props for her just ideas. Like, I think like it is a very original kind of thing. Like, you hear some things about like quote unquote vampires and like how funny like the idea of a vampire is, and then she took that and like spun it on its head and made it so that really horny teen girls would enjoy it, I just think it's so funny. I don't know, I really enjoyed, as a little middle schooler, this like coming together of girls, of just like, oh my god, Twilight's coming out, oh my god. And just like this gathering of like unabashed obsession with these 2 men characters who are both like pretty toxic.
Yeah.
There's just something so girly about it, like in the best way. Like, I think it's just so funny that this was such a obsessed over movie out of all the movies that have come out since I've been alive. I just think it's hilarious.
This might have been one of the first like really mainstream like series like this that was like marketed almost exclusively to
teenagers.
Young girls.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I mean, you've got Divergent comes after this. That one feels a little bit more...
Hunger Games, which isn't totally just for girls, but I feel like most...
No, yeah, I think Divergent and Hunger Games are not as... they don't feel as gender exclusive, I guess. Like, they feel like they're kind of... Anyone really like them. I
think just sadly, whenever there's a female protagonist, it ends up being...
God, tell me about it.
Marketed towards women rather than
just
men.
So stupid. God forbid a man has to watch a movie where the woman is the leading role.
Yeah. Someday we'll
Poor
watch
things.
like the most recent trilogy of Star Wars movies, but I think if they had made Daisy Ridley's character a man, I think those movies would have been a little less controversial. I think some of them...
so.
I think one of those movies is like straight up bad, but I think the other two are pretty good.
Fair.
But people, I think, are harsher on it than they need to be.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, yeah, that's the reality of being a woman.
They're like, I can't relate to this girl.
She's got boobs and a period. I don't have that. I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah, she's got the same problems I have, but she's got tits. I can't relate to that.
She's got a tiny little woman brain. I've got a big man brain and big muscles. Okay, sorry. Anyways, back to Twilight.
Write that down for her.
Yeah, truly. Yeah, I just wanted you to watch it. I wanted you to experience... Oh my God, Milo... God, he's kicked our mics. I wanted you to experience this movie, just in general, because I think it is an experience in and of itself. And now I really, honestly, really want to watch the next three.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to cover them.
I do. Like, I am looking forward to watching the other ones. I had fun watching this.
Yeah.
But I think we enjoyed watching it for different reasons.
Totally.
So.
Oh yeah, tell me more about. So, did your sister like Twilight when?
Yeah, for sure. I think she had posters and stuff.
Hell yeah.
I know she was like really into like Hunger Games and Divergent.
Yeah.
Is it Divergent? I've never seen any of those movies. Yeah. I know she was into those. I remember seeing those books on her bookshelf.
She's a big reader, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I think her Twilight book. I mean, I know like I used to have all of the Harry Potter like hardbacks.
Oh yeah.
And when I moved for college, she took them. And I remember like when I was like a few years later, I wanted to get all my books from childhood and take them with me back to Austin. And I remember like all the Harry Potter books were like so worn that like all the covers were literally falling off of them.
Yeah, so she just...
I mean, she just rereads like the same books over and over again. I think
it's
Twilight
like having a
was
comfort
the same
show.
way.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
like having a comfort show. It's your comfort book, your comfort series.
So I think I'd seen most of this movie. It all looked familiar except for like the last like 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
To be honest. So
yeah.
I'm sure I had like sat down and tried to watch it at one point, like
probably
with my sister, like probably my mom, but yeah, I'd never seen it all the way through. I knew a lot of like the iconic lines. I knew of the baseball scene, but I'd never seen it before.
Good.
So good. I've got an award for that too.
Yeah, you better.
But yeah, it's not like this is like a putrid movie. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. It's really not. It's not as bad as people like to pretend it is.
Corny and a little ridiculous,
silly,
but
yeah.
I like the premise. I think the premise,
yeah.
I would have loved to see this premise as like an adult like show or something.
Oh
like,
yeah, I could see that.
You know, like I feel like if you gave like an HBO showrunner this premise, it could be very good. You having a little hard time getting settled? Huh? Do you have anything to add to the conversation?
Would you like to say anything? You watched Twilight with us. Did you like it? He's so confused. He's looking at both of us like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah, guys, I think I'm Team Jacob. Oh,
because he kind of looks like me, sort of.
He looks like the kind of guy that would let me sniff his butt.
Word. Probably. Yeah, well, I think just in terms of topics, one thing we have to cover is the soundtrack, for sure. It's so good. I forgot completely about how, like, for the movie that it is, and I mean that, like, just in, like, the sense of, like, it's not the best movie in the world. But, no, I'm not even going to say that. I think the soundtrack fits the movie very well. So like, it's just, I was caught off guard with how good the soundtrack was. I totally forgot about how good it was.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got Paramore. They wrote multiple songs for the series completely. Like they have so many songs in the series. And then you've got Robert Pattinson. Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't look anything up about this.
Okay, so I need to find. He plays guitar,
mm-hmm.
and I can't remember who in the cast. I saw it somewhere. Oh, Nikki Reed. She asked the producers to add some of his songs to the movie.
Mm.
She like secretly recorded him singing and stuff to like show them, and they really liked his music. And so there are 2 of his songs in the film. One of them's not even listed on the soundtrack because there's not a recorded. I don't think there's a recorded version of it. It's Never Think, which plays during the restaurant scene when they're at dinner, and then Let Me Sign, which plays when Edward has to suck her blood or the venom to save her.
Suck my blood.
Which is just so crazy to me. So you've got Robert Pattinson, who is not necessarily a recorded artist, I don't think. I take that back. I think he has a couple of songs on Spotify. Anyways, you've got that. You've got frickin' Muse with Supermassive Black Hole. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
You just gonna read every song?
No, I'm just looking at the ones that I think. Freaking Flightless Bird when they're dancing at prom, bro.
How much of the budget do you think went to the soundtrack?
Probably. I mean, they've got some good names on here. I think even as it goes through the series, they spend a lot of money on the soundtrack.
I like the songs on the soundtrack, but I think it kind of takes me out of the movie a little bit. It's like they turn up the volume whenever the songs come on.
I love it.
It's a little overpowering.
I want it to be overwhelming. Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot that song was in there. I'm singing along to it. Yeah, but also another fun fact, Kristen Stewart was the one that suggested Flightless Bird for the prom scene.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, yeah, let's do it. And then Iron and Wine recorded a acoustic, or no, not acoustic version, but they recorded a special version for when, spoiler alert, Edward and Bella get married.
Well, sellouts.
Isn't that cool? No, that's cool. I think that's cool.
They've gone commercial.
Oh my God. I forgot how good the soundtrack was. I just needed to chat about it because oh my God. The baseball scene with Supermassive Black Hole, and like, it's incredible. And Paramore, the songs Paramore wrote for the movies are really great. Another thing to cover is I think that it's casted really well. I think for the characters that everyone's playing, everyone fits very nicely into each role. Mm-hmm. So like even like Bella's friends, like I kind of felt like I'd gotten thrown back into high school a little bit, because when I was in middle school watching this, I didn't understand what high school is going to be like, obviously. Like, I didn't really know what to expect. But now that I'm watching it back, it feels so well representative for high school. Like, it felt so funny. Like, when they're at the greenhouse and all of the guys are just being idiots, I was like, yeah, that feels like something that would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Charlie Swan, her dad, is casted really well. I don't remember that.
Who is that?
I don't remember that actor's name. Let me see. Oh, stop. So many freaking pop-up ads. Leave me alone.
Who?
The dad,
Kristen
Billy
Stewart's
Burke.
dad? Okay.
Billy Burke. He's fantastic. Obviously, Taylor Lautner.
What do you think about her friends
in
school?
I
didn't understand any of those characters, why they existed.
I love that Anna Kendrick is in this. I think it's so funny.
I think
she's really good in it, actually.
Really? That whole group, I don't understand why they're in the movie. They don't really fit. They are like...
I think they're probably more relevant to the book, so they had to be included in the movies. I agree that you don't really see why they're that important.
I didn't really understand why they were all friends with Bella, because she wasn't a very good friend.
I don't know if I would say that.
She was just like the new girl, and they were all like,
well,
it's the new girl. And then, like, every time they did anything, she was like,
I have to go.
Whatever.
Sorry.
Oh, y'all go down to the water?
I need to leave. But she would go. She wouldn't. I think.
What about when they go prom dress shopping and she just fucking dips?
Well, I mean, that was a little ulterior motive there. She just wanted to go so she could go to the bookstore, to be honest. So
yeah, exactly. It's not very friendly.
Well, then she also... That whole sequence of events is very strange. I'm like, why is she by herself? Are these men, like, drunk? Or, like...
I didn't understand that either.
Yeah, I feel like you need the book to understand that scene.
These guys just partying in Forks.
Oh my God. The way Edward fucking whips out of that parking lot and goes 90 miles an hour as if those probably very drunken men are gonna like run after. Like, they don't give a fuck. You just scared the living daylights out of them. You think they're gonna come after you?
They're also on foot, big guy.
Yeah.
They're not vampires.
There were no cars there.
Yeah.
They can't sprint after you and like climb along the trees like a little monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she isn't the best friend, but I do think like they had to be. I think if she had no friends in the movie, it would be harder to believe that she would like, I don't want to say be noticed by Edward, but I feel like it would be harder to make that relationship work. You know what I mean? She would just be like quiet and very much in the shadows.
Yeah.
Too much. Because like he needs to have some of that darkness, I think.
Yeah. I just didn't understand why all the boys had a crush on her. Like,
because I feel like in general, when someone is like standoffish, like kind of holds back, I feel like people always end up liking that person. No matter where they fall on the gender spectrum. Like, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I guess so. I was just,
yeah. Like, oh, you don't like me? I like you more now. You don't really want to talk to me? That's so hot.
Yeah, I just thought every scene with the friends was a little weird. That's
fair. Yeah, but I do think everyone casted in it was well casted. I think, I'm trying to remember that I had a third thing. I can't remember right now.
You didn't write it down?
No, I didn't. It was in my head. I was like, I'll remember. I think the setting for the film is so funny because like she picked the rainiest town in the US. Did you know that? On purpose.
I didn't know that.
You didn't?
No.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So Forks, Washington is, I think it's something like, it rains like all the time there, like literally all the time. And she wanted, sorry. Okay, well, I'm not saying anything about it, but I know that that's why.
Okay.
It just rains a lot there.
Well, I can't substantiate these claims, but
I think she went there. I just remember hearing, you know, like when a movie like this comes out and you hear like all of the movie secrets or whatever. I remember hearing that about it, and it was like the rainiest place. And
Stephanie Meyer's on Kathy Lee and Hoda.
Yeah, exactly. I just really loved Forks, Washington.
Why did you pick Forks?
It was very cold and wet, and there are a lot of trees. But I love that because of the setting, they tried to match the film with the setting, and they put just like this blue tone on everything. Like everything is just slightly blue. Is there like what do you call that? Just like a cooler tone to the film?
Yeah.
Like, how did they do that? Just in post?
Just color grading, yeah.
Oh, okay. I just think that's hilarious. It makes everyone look so much more pale, and like everything's darker.
They did it even when they were like shooting scenes in Phoenix. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay.
Why are we doing this, guys? Yeah. They just...
Quite the choice.
They knew... I think that's what it is, right? In every aspect of this movie, everyone understood what they were working on. And I think that's why Twilight works. I think that's why it works. And I think that's why, even if you're not the hugest fan of Twilight and you don't really care about it that much, you're going to watch it and you're going to be hooked. Like, you're going to be watching it. It's hard to be distracted, I think.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous that I was kind of like, I wonder what's gonna happen next.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They've got the cool tones. They make it cool and dark, and it almost feels like you're cold and damp while you're watching it. They've got this cast of characters that works really well together, even if, like you said, you know, certain aspects feel kind of weird. I feel like you don't notice things like that till after you watch it. Then you've got the freaking soundtrack, and then you've got Kristen Stewart. I keep wanting to call him Edward. Robert Pattinson, just, you know, really milking the shit out of this thing. And then it works. And then you're like, oh, that actually was pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty stylistically consistent.
I think everyone just knew. Because I think Stephenie Meyer, I think, was included a lot in filming. I mean, she's in the movie, by the way, if you didn't know that, which is really funny to me. She's in the movie. She's in one of the first scenes when they're eating at the diner.
She's just eating at the diner?
Yeah, she's sitting at a table. She's sitting at it's like she's in like the front left side of the shot. Oh. It's very obviously her, but if you don't know what she looks like, you know, you don't notice. Yeah, we didn't even talk about all the vampires. All the vampires are casted incredibly well too. I love them. I love them.
I found the vampires so corny.
I love it. I want them to be corny.
The dad is like...
He's so hot. Don't even talk to me. He's so hot. You kept saying he was so hot. I think don't quote me on this. I think you see him with his shirt off at some point.
Can you only become a vampire if you're hot?
Good question.
Where are the ugly vampires at?
Good question.
All these people were beautiful.
I think there are some
Even the evil ones, I was like, okay.
I think some of the evil ones later... Did you know Dakota Fanning is in this?
Yeah, I think I did, actually.
Fun fact, if you didn't know that. I think she starts in I can't remember if she is in the second or the third movie. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Good question. So you've got some... Oh, I actually did have a couple more fun facts.
Okay.
There was one or two other ones that I saw in here. So in the actual movie, Bella's Lullaby, which is a beautiful piano song, Robert Pattinson is actually playing it in the movie in real life. So they didn't get a double for his hands, which is really cool. He actually knows how to play the piano.
That's cool.
I already told you about the music, about Robert Pattinson making music.
Robert Pattinson taking jobs from hardworking musicians, what I hear.
Robert, shut the hell up. Talked about Flightless Bird. There's one other one. Yes, that's what it is. When Robert Pattinson bites the guy's neck, it's made out of ham and cheese.
You'd be surprised how much in life is made out of ham and cheese. You'd be shocked.
That is so disgusting.
Why is that disgusting?
I don't know. Like, my question is, how did they make it look like skin? How did they make it look like skin?
I think being left out of the process is the best.
I don't want to know. Yeah. Yeah. So the quote bite that Edward takes out of James's neck was made of ham and cheese. Whether or not that's been proven to be true or not, I still think that's incredible because out of all of like I will say this, having taken stage makeup when I was in college, using something using something like an actual makeup product, what's it called? The prosthetic. I wanted to say anesthetic. I was like, that's not the word. Yeah, prosthetic. Using prosthetics, they're very, very expensive. You can usually only use them once or twice. So, I mean, it makes sense if he's having to literally bite something for it to be food based. Yeah. I don't like that it's ham and cheese.
I don't know why that bothers you. You like ham and cheese.
I know. It just freaks me out. I just don't like the mix of the two in this.
Biting into it's just a spiral cut ham.
I'd be into that. I'll do that.
One of those like honey glazed ones. Oh pineapple.
My God. That'd be good. Okay. Sorry.
You like see an outtake where Robert Pattinson's just like eating the shit.
Eating the guy's neck. Yeah. Okay. Now we've got some, wait. Do I do my excursions or do you do your ramblings on this one?
No, you get to sell the movie.
Oh my God, incredible. I feel like I already have, but I'll add a little bit more. Welcome to Elissa's Excursions, where I tried to sell you on Twilight.
we don't, that's a working title. You don't
have to make it formal. No, I like it. There are 2 E's in there. You got 2 R's in there. It's perfect. Right. What is there to say about Twilight when everything's already been said? It's an incredible movie. It's beautiful. It's cinematic. It locks you in from the start. You're suckered into it.
Suckered.
Get it? Because he's a vampire. You're not getting out of this movie until you finish the movie. And when you finish the first movie, what are you going to want to do? You're going to want to watch the second movie. Okay?
Why should someone give this a shot for the first time?
Just to say you have. Is that not enough?
That's enough.
Yeah, I've said it before, but honestly, I think if you have not watched this movie, I would like you to ask yourself why you have not watched this movie. And if it is because you think it's going to be a bad movie, I want you to think about any bad movies you've seen. Think about why they were bad. So, like, I feel like usually when people see a bad movie, you remember why it was bad. So you think about that. And then if you go into watching this movie, if you think about this movie as what it is, you're not going to be disappointed. If you're like, this is a kitschy little vampire girly pop movie, you're going to get what you want. I think you just have to reframe your mind a little bit. You know, you have to enjoy being immersed in this world by everything that they give you in this. And you just get to sit back and you just get to eat your popcorn and watch some vampires kiss each other and humans. Boom. No werewolves yet. Those come later. I was kind of disappointed that the werewolves didn't make a little showing in this one.
I'm surprised they didn't. Yeah. They like hinted at it, but I was surprised they didn't like have like a shot of like Jacob's eyes turning or something like
yellow
that.
or like his hair sticking out of his back or something. It is really terrifying when they show him turning into a werewolf for the first time. It's really weird.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I hope I sold you on Twilight. I think if you're wanting to not watch it because it sounds like a girly movie and you don't want to like be seen as girly, like maybe you should assess that toxic masculinity. Okay.
I think this would be such a fun, like, have the friends over.
Yeah.
With like
make it a thing.
Drinks.
Yes. Get fucking drunk if you want. Play a drinking game.
Oh yeah. Like a take a shot anytime Bella moans or something like that. Yeah.
Or
like that.
Whenever Edward like shoots his eyes across the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
All right.
Robert's got some awards.
Would you like me to give out some awards?
Give out your awards, Robert.
All right. We've We've got 5 awards to give out tonight.
Wow, that's a lot.
It was a lot. I had to trim
You're
down
feeling
my list.
generous. Oh, wow. Okay, let's hear it.
The first award is the horniest vampire award goes to Edward.
Yeah.
Cullen. That man, do you think he's gotten laid in the last 100 years?
No, he said he hasn't in the movie. He said he's never had a relationship.
That's bonkers. My man.
Yeah. Wait, I'm pretty sure he's a virgin.
That's really depressing.
Yeah. Edward.
No offense to any virgins out there, but if you were a virgin after 120 years, you would probably not be very happy.
It says, while some feminists say that this makes Edward a kind of pedophile, being so much older than Bella, Meyer goes to pains to remind us Edward is a virgin and was never interested in sex or even romance until he met Bella. Because he does say something, I think, about how he hasn't been with anyone before.
So are we saying that somebody who is 40 who dates?
We're not going to get into that.
Okay.
It's not relevant to this.
Well, that leads to my next award, the Problematic Relationship Award.
Okay, fair.
Goes to the 120-year-old man dating a 17-year-old.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
I'm just saying, what's up with the father? The vampire dad's not going to be like, hey, buddy, we might need to talk about this.
Well, he's happy that his son's finally going to get laid. It's been 120 years.
He's like, God, he is so mopey. Can you imagine him post-nut? He will be so much happier.
The stars will come out. The sun will start shining on his sparkly body and he'll be alive. He'll be excited.
Speaking of sparkly body.
Oh, no.
I didn't know what to call this one.
Okay.
So I just called it the Sparkly Skin Award.
That's great.
For all the vampires.
All the vampires.
It's like, okay, y'all can go outside in the sun, but you'll be sparkly?
That's kind of hot, honestly. That only adds to their lore. He acts like it's so disgusting. He's like, why would you love someone with skin like this? It's like, no, it's
just
beautiful.
Has flawless skin. Just looks like
you're just sparkling, baby. You're a little sparkly. You're a little disco ball.
It was a little blinding. But.
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
For the award for out-of-pocket scene, goes to baseball.
Yeah.
That was one of those we need all of the vampires to be somewhere remote so the bad vampires can come find them. Can come upon them.
I do love that scene though.
Yeah, but that scene's fucking bonkers. That is a crazy scene. I couldn't even imagine coming up with that scene. Also,
that's why it's so good.
It's very weird that they're all into baseball. It doesn't fit really at all.
It doesn't fit really at all, but it makes sense. It doesn't, but it does.
God,
it's fun to watch.
Just every vampire is super into baseball. That's so
and they're
weird.
Really good at
Even
it
the bad
too.
vampires are like, mind if we play?
But they're really good at it.
Going down to the park for a pickup game.
I love that they have to play when there's a thunderstorm.
Yeah,
because they're cracking the bat against the ball so hard that it reverberates.
Also, if they were hitting it that hard, the bat would break.
Well, sure, but maybe they have metal bats or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. They look like they were wood. Wait, maybe they should have metal bats though.
But if they're out in a thunderstorm, it'll be.
That's not. They're dead.
They still get hurt by electrocution, right? They can get hurt.
I think they heal themselves though. I'm
pretty
pretty sure they heal themselves.
Yeah, but if I could heal, I still wouldn't want to be shocked by.
Might be kind of cool. I don't know.
Any vampires out there, write in. Let us know.
Let us know. We would love to hear about your experience with lightning.
And then the final award of the night is going to go to Bella.
It's 11 in the morning.
Most random hometown ever.
A Forks?
You're telling me that Bella is from Phoenix, Arizona?
Oh, Phoenix, yeah. Yeah, that is pretty strange.
She's a desert girl?
I don't know why they set her there.
And then she's like, I miss Phoenix so much.
Yeah, what is there to miss about Phoenix?
No way you enjoyed Phoenix, Bella.
No offense.
Are crazy.
You are meant to be in Forks, Washington.
I'm not saying anything bad about Phoenix.
Little quiet, solemn lady.
Bella specifically. There's no way that
liked Phoenix. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is valid.
I was just so confused. I expected her to be from some Northern California town.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I want to come back to your toxic relationship one because I think it's really funny. And I get what you mean. Because like, the thing about, I think something that people forget about, like with relationships where someone is significantly older than the other person, it's not necessarily the age gap in and of itself, it's the maturity level. Milo, stop it. So if you're 120 and the person you're dating is 17, like obviously you're going to have some kind of like power over them because you understand the world at a much higher level than the 17-year-old.
Like when they hang out with her friends, what the fuck is he talking to the friends about? They're like, yo, have you ever played Call of Duty?
He's also manipulative as fuck.
Yeah.
Like when she's in the hospital bed towards the end, he's like, I think maybe you should go back or something, go back to Phoenix. And it kind of feels like he just says that for her to be like, or I can't remember what he said. I think he says she needs to go back home or something. And it kind of feels like he just says that because he wants to hear her be like, no, I don't. I want to be here with you. Like
doesn't he leave her in the second movie?
No spoilers. Yeah, I think he does though. I can't remember. It's been so long since I watched these movies.
I just know in the second movie, like Jacob has a bigger role.
Yeah, well, because they have a relationship.
Yeah, and I knew at some point, like I knew there was a whole reason there was a Team Edward, Team Jacob, and so I knew that Edward must have left at some point, otherwise she would never.
Yeah. I also think oh my God, Milo's shedding so much. I think even when I was at a young age, I think I found Edward's behavior a little preposterous. And so I think part of the reason I was a Jacob's girl was like, he's a lot nicer to her. And I don't think he's as he's still, both of them are still pretty toxic from what I can remember. But I don't think he's as toxic as Edward is. Mm. He also has got like a sexy little tan 6-pack.
I think it's funny because like, if you're the kind of person that's into Taylor Lautner, you're probably not going to be the same kind of person who's into Robert Pattinson.
Oh, no.
Like,
very different vibes.
You have like ripped, dark, handsome, and then you have like tall,
skinny, lanky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're both very handsome, attractive men. It's just like they have such a different like ethos about them, I guess. I've
just always been tall, dark, and handsome.
Well, as you can see,
I'm gonna marry a little.
A little.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say little.
I am above average height.
You're very tall, but I meant to say like little, like expressively, not like you are little. A little pale ass white man.
I'll take it. That's
you
true.
Are.
Yeah.
You are. We were talking earlier about how Taylor Lautner hasn't really been in anything recently, which is sad. Oh, he was in a Taylor Swift music video. Strange.
Did they used to date?
Yeah. But then both of their names would have been Taylor Lautner. Isn't that weird if they would have gotten married?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in some stuff. You remember he was in Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's like he seems happy with what
oh, yeah. Whatever him and his wife are doing on TikTok, I love. Yeah. It's fun to get their stuff that pops up. He also seems like a man who's very comfortable in this femininity, and I love that for him. I always find men like that attractive.
Yeah, he just seems like he's chilling.
Yeah.
Which, everybody should be there.
Wish I could be. Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Should we get into final awards?
You got anything else to say about this movie?
I don't think so. I think it's kind of where I'm at with. I like this movie more than I liked 50 Shades of Grey. Like 50 Shades of Grey, I just genuinely think is
that's based off of this, right?
Yeah. That's why it reminds me of it a little bit. But I think they're both like, they're both like not incredible movies to me.
Sure.
But like 50 Shades of Grey doesn't seem to have the awareness that this movie has.
Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, if you have never seen this, I wouldn't recommend just watching it by yourself one day because you probably wouldn't get that enjoyment out of it. But like, I recommend watching it with somebody that you can like kind of joke around about the movie with.
You can make comments about it. You can have like little
because if you go into it
it
expecting like a serious movie, you're going to be pretty disappointed. But if you go into it expecting like a hammy teen movie,
silly, goofy moment, yeah.
So, and I think it's perfect for like couples that are willing to make fun of a movie.
Absolutely.
Dork.
Milo really liked Twilight a lot.
Yeah, as you can tell. But yeah, let's get into
what's your score? I want to hear yours first.
Well, I think I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay, that's pretty high for a movie that I don't feel like you would normally watch.
I think so. Because we have the 2 separate scales.
Yeah.
I don't think I would even say that I liked the movie. I think it's like a 3 out of 5 in terms of like my enjoyment of watching it.
That's maybe not terrible.
Yeah, I mean probably like a 2.5 out of 5. But I want to do whole numbers. So
I feel like this is an achievement for me because I think you were really digging your heels in about watching it. You're like, oh my, I don't want to have to watch Twilight.
Yeah, I was mostly just hamming that up. I don't really.
Okay.
I was looking forward to.
I think you need to admit that you liked it more than you thought you would.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, great.
I think
I won then.
Well, I was expecting to be bored, and I wasn't bored. 50 Shades of Grey, I was bored a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I don't think I would ever suggest watching Twilight, but
if I wanted to watch it, you would.
I don't like. I can envision a situation where you would suggest it, and I would be like, yeah, you know what, that would be kind of funny.
Okay.
Like, so I would never suggest it, which is so.
So a 6 out of 10.
It gets a 3 on both of our scales of 5.
That's pretty good.
So 6 out of 10. Is this a 9, 10?
I think it might be a 10, to be honest. I think I just love the lore. I love the lore, and I would definitely rewatch it again, 100%. Now that I've watched it again, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch it. Absolutely. Like, no problems. Yeah.
There's some movies that like I'm excited to have like kids to watch with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't wait to like show Star Wars to our future kids.
That would be so funny. Having to sit through all of them though.
I think having like a preteen girl become obsessed with this movie will be like a fun little stage.
I'll be interested to see. I hope that there's more like queer representation of like movies similar to this by the time we have kids, so that they're not just getting bombarded with a bunch of straight people.
Movies might be dead by the time we get kids.
Okay, well, kids. That was really negative of you to say. Did you need to say that?
No, it'll just all be TV.
Okay, well, I think there will still be movies. Anyways, thank you for listening. We really appreciate you listening to this, to any other episodes. If you like our podcast and you want us to keep making the podcast, if you could go ahead and click the little check button, follow our podcast on Spotify or wherever you listen. And if you want to type a little review, give us 5 stars. We would love that more than anything. Please.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on socials.
Yes.
Fighting Over the Remote. And you can email us at fightingovertheremote@gmail.com if you have any movie suggestions or
we'd love to hear them.
Questions or anything.
Yeah.
If
you want to support us, if you want us to do ads for you, give us money, then just email us.
We're on YouTube right now. Now we're on YouTube. We're not,
and it looks really cool. You should check it out on YouTube. You also get to see Milo if you watch it on YouTube.
Yeah,
and he's very cute.
Milo likes to sleep in between us as we record episodes.
He's adorable.
So, if you want to catch him kicking the mic or anything else, just follow us on YouTube. We release a new episode every week. And our next scheduled episode, I'm going to be making Elissa watch the second movie in the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
All right.
The Two Towers.
I'm ready.
We're going to stay
Are we going to make our way through those?
Yeah, just because I don't want you to...
Lose
I feel like
track.
There's so many names and so many characters. I don't want you
That's
to like...
totally fair.
Totally lose track of everything. So
yeah, so if listeners didn't catch it, I have ADHD, so it's already hard enough for me to follow a movie like Lord of the Rings. So strap in. We're gonna maybe we'll just make our way through the Twilight and the Lord of the Rings movies right now.
yeah, I think the next movie I might suggest to you is another series. So
amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. We're just gonna ride through some series. Sit back and watch with us.
All right.
We love you. Thanks for listening.
We love you. Thank you for listening.
Bye.